privilege to host you all at our university today. We also thank you for the cooperation and support that you have been receiving from the Ministry and the World Bank. Thank you very much. SUA has been one of Tanzania higher education institutions which has been receiving projects coordinated by the World Bank over the last 8 years. So the University of Agriculture has received 3 big projects that are funded by the World Bank with a special arrangement with the government of the United Republic of Tanzania. This includes 2 ASEP, 2 projects, each project, and as Dr. Osea said, previously also recipient of a project which left a very remarkable university. I understand we are going to have presentations from the 3 projects, so let me not dwell on them very much. Honorable Ambassador, we are grateful to the World Bank and the government of Tanzania for their continued support in various areas of development. On our part, we pledge to continue to use the available funds to implement intended activities and to take a good care of the infrastructure and the facilities available in these projects. Before I end my remark, let me repeat what is called
college known as Morogoro Agricultural College, and then in 1970 we became part of the University of Dar es Salaam as the Faculty of Agriculture, Forestry and Veterinary Sciences. Later on, in July 1984, we became a fully fledged university known as the Sokoine University of Agriculture, and that's what we are today. And we have several campuses. We have what used to be called the main campus, where we are now, but now it is called the Edward Moringe campus. But we have another campus in Morogoro, which is like 10 kilometers from here, in a place popularly known as Mazimbu, where we have the Solomon Mahalangu campus, which also hosts some schools, colleges. But we have several training centers all over the countries, and these host students during our special training programs, including field practical attachments. We have one in Olmotoni in Arusha, at the foot of the Mount Meru. And these are some photos of
for our engagement in the country, and I'm really delighted to hear about all the results and successes that we've had, and I hope this is just the beginning of much more. I had the pleasure yesterday evening of having dinner with several of the vice chancellors to get a jump start on the discussion, and I have to say that they made a very compelling case for more World Bank partnership. So, Vice Chancellor, I think you've given them very good talking points. So before I even came here, I was convinced. Let me just say that, in particular, to be here at SUA today, I feel at home because my background is also agriculture. I'm a trained agricultural economist on rural development policy and rural finance. So I might just end up sending these people back to Dar es Salaam and staying here myself. So thank you so much, and I look forward to going around and visiting concretely some of the activities. I think you all know that there was just recently a Human Capital Summit in Dar es Salaam, where under the leadership of Her Excellency President Samia, the World Bank was pleased, honored to host, co-organize an event that brought together leaders from across Africa to really focus on this issue of human capital. You know, we talk a lot about the demographic dividend. We talk a lot about the youth that our continent has and how it's an asset that's not sufficiently capitalized on. And given the opportunities that the world has to offer, that we as Africans, we as leaders in Africa have a responsibility to help our countries go to the next level. And it goes without saying that the education sector plays a very vital role in that. And it's precisely for that reason that the World Bank has prioritized human capital as one area of primary focus and investment over the years to come. We are very delighted with the work that the Tanzanian government made and the commitments that it made at this summit across the human capital space, which, as you know, is not just education, but it includes health, it includes issues of dealing with vulnerable youth, etc. So I think I just wanted to start by saying that we are fully committed to continuing our work with you. We are fully committed to expanding our engagement in this sector. Education specifically for the World Bank in Tanzania is one of our largest engagements. It's one of our largest investment sectors. We've had numerous discussions with the ministry on how to move our program forward. We are currently supporting all the universities in Tanzania. And one of the things, anecdotally, if I can say from our dinner last night, that I was very surprised to hear the very limited level of investment in higher education that has been received here in Tanzania, but also I think it's probably true across the world, and particularly in Africa. So I think there's a case to be made for continued additional investment. A couple of key comments that I would like to make, and that I also heard today, is number one is the need for doing more to increase enrollment. And the director just very eloquently summarized this. Enrollment rates, in particular in Tanzania, are quite low even compared to your neighbors. So obviously there's work to be done, and you have done your part, but now there's a need for additional investment in that. So that message is very well received, and we commit to working with you on that. We also commit to working with you and appreciate the fact that you realize that quality is very important. The quality of education is very important. The relevance of the curriculum in terms of the workforce is also very relevant. So the reforms that the ministry is planning in coordination with you is very important. And so that is a third element that we'll continue to work with you on, is how to further enhance, improve the quality of curriculum and the investments that are needed for that. Through the presentations, we heard about some of these investments in infrastructure, etc., that have actually helped increase the quality. So obviously there's a case to continue to do more. The final point I'd like to make is that, you know, despite the fact that enrollment rates maybe in Tanzania are low, but they're low across the continent, another issue that we face is rising unemployment even among the educated youth in Africa. So in that regard, we commend the government of Tanzania for moving forward on the reforms, particularly on vocational training, but also on your part to better link with the job market and make sure that your course offerings are relevant. But for this, I think we need to continue to work very closely with the private sector, with all stakeholders, to make sure that we're giving training opportunities, academic courses that are relevant for the future job market, for the future development of our countries. So I think that's something that you can continue to rely on us to support you with. So I don't want to speak too much. So Vice Chancellor, I'm as the old African proverb says, you know, I come here with a small mouth and big ears, because I want to learn. I spend too much time sitting in conference rooms, so I'm here to listen to you and to go and see your campus. So again, I want to thank you for really your hospitality, your warmth, and lastly for the opportunity to visit your beautiful campus. And I commit on my behalf and on behalf of the World Bank to continue to support you, particularly if you can produce the impacts and the results that was said. I think my brother from the is it C, what do you call it? It's SUA, that has impact rates of over 2,000%, was it? Results. I think if we can do that, it's very easy to find additional resources to support success. So success breeds success, as they say. So again, thank you so much.